Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet. In this session, we'll be discussing from two verses, 53 and 54, which are given together in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th chapter, 1st canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, the 53 and 54th verses. So the 50th, both are given together. Shri Bhagavan Vacha. Brahmabandhur nahantavya atatayi vadarhanaha mayaivo bhayam amnatam paripahi anushasanam kuru pratishrutam satyam yattat santvayata priyam priyam cha bhimasenasya Panchalya Mahyamevacha. Two verses given together, 53 and 54. Now the translation of these two verses as given by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. The personality of Godhead Sri Krishna said, Shri Bhagavan Vacha, a friend of a Brahmana is not to be killed. Brahma Bandhur Nahantavya. But if he is an aggressor, he must be killed. Atatayi vadha arhanaha. If he is a atatayi, if he is an aggressor, he must be killed. All these rulings are in the scriptures. All these rulings are in the scriptures. Amnatam, according to the rulings of the authority. Both these are given in the scriptures. And Krishna is telling Arjuna, you must act accordingly. You have to fulfill your promise to your wife. What is Arjuna's promise to his wife, Draupadi? That I shall cut off the head of this Ashwathama and bring it for you to pacify you, to punish him suitably because of the inglorious murder he has committed. And now Krishna is also telling Arjuna, you must also act according to the satisfaction of Bhimasena and me. So Bhima directly told that this Ashwathama should be killed. Now Krishna also, when Ashwathama was captured and arrested by Arjuna, Krishna had told Arjuna, you must kill this fellow because he is an aggressor. Even though he is the son of a Brahmana, but as an aggressor, even if he be a Brahmana, still he should be killed. What to speak of a Brahma Bandhu. At the same time, now Krishna is telling, you have to act according to the rulings of the Shastra, and you have to fulfill your promise to your wife. And what is Draupadi's suggestion? Don't kill him. To satisfy Draupadi, Arjuna should not kill. And for satisfying Bhima, he should kill. So what is he supposed to do? Kill or not kill? So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada says that Arjuna was perplexed because Ashwatthama was to be killed as well as spared according to different scriptures cited by different persons. This is a fact. Whenever somebody tries to refer the scriptures, then in certain circumstances, to apply the scriptural injunctions is difficult. In the 18th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, it is explained that for somebody who is a sannyasi, who is in the renounced order of life, there are no duties to be performed. No duties to be performed because he is completely renounced. He is simply engaged in devotional service to Krishna, exclusively dedicated for that. That is the meaning of renunciation. At the same time, Shastra says that activities which are of the nature of yajna, dana and tapa should never be given up under any circumstances for a civilized human being. In all stages, one should never stop performing sacrifice, because sacrifice is specifically activity meant for pleasing the Supreme Lord. So, in that way, we can understand sacrifice should never be given up. Though material activities or material duties, even a sannyasi has got no material duties. A brahmachari has got duties, a grihastha has got duties, a vanaprastha has got duties, but a sannyasi has no material duties. So, it is difficult to understand whether a sannyasi should perform any activities or not do any activities at all. So, like this, in the scriptures, there are injunctions which seemingly are contradictory in certain circumstances, in certain situations where one has to apply. Different people will give different cite different shastras and give different rulings. Just like here, it's happening. Bhima is telling you must kill, because Bhima is citing the Shastra only. And Draupadi is telling don't kill, and she is given her reasoning. So here Prabhupada is telling, as a Brahma Bandhu or a worthless son of a Brahmana, Ashwatthama was not to be killed. Brahma Bandhur nahantavya. This is the ruling of the Shastra. Brahma Bandhu, because son of a Brahmana. Even though he is not a Brahmana, but he is son of a Brahmana, still he should not be killed. But he was at the same time, this Ashwatthama was an aggressor. According to the rulings of Manu, an aggressor, even though he be a Brahmana, and what to speak of a Brahmabandhu, unworthy son of a Brahmana, such a aggressor is to be killed. This is what Manusmriti says. Manusmriti. Dronacharya was certainly a Brahmana in the true sense of the term, but because he stood in the battlefield, he was killed. He was fighting a dharma yuddha. So, in the battle he got killed. So, because Dronacharya was on the side of the Kauravas, and obviously he was killed by the Pandavas. But such killing of Dronacharya was justified because Dronacharya was engaged in battle. But although Ashwatthama was an aggressor, now look at this complication. As an aggressor, it said in the Shastra, aggressor, even if he is a Brahmana, he is to be killed. So, even though Ashwatthama was an aggressor, he stood without any fighting weapons. He stood without any weapons. He was bound up. He didn't have any weapons with him. The ruling is that an aggressor, when he is without weapon or chariot, cannot be killed. Now look at this. Brahmabandhu should not be killed. Aggressor, even if he is a Brahmana, he has to be killed. An aggressor, when he is standing without any weapon, he should not be killed. So what is Arjuna supposed to do? Besides all this, now these were all perplexities for Arjuna. And besides all this, to further complicate matters, Arjuna had to keep the promise he had made before Draupadi just to pacify her. As soon as Draupadi began crying after learning that her 5 sons had been all killed by Ashwatthama, she was crying, and Arjuna, just to pacify her, had said, I am not going to spare this Ashwatthama. I am going to cut off his head and bring that head for you in order to pacify you. So he had made a promise. Kshatriya's promise cannot be an empty promise. And he also had to satisfy both Bhima and Krishna, who advised killing Ashwatthama. So Arjuna has promised Draupadi, I will kill him. Bhima and Krishna have advised Arjuna to kill Ashwatthama. The Shastra says a Brahmabandhu should not be killed. Aggressor has to be killed. But an aggressor without any weapons should not be killed. So what is Arjuna supposed to do? Certainly very, very, very perplexing situation. This dilemma was present before Arjuna and the solution was awarded by Krishna. Now, how Krishna awards the solution is going to be explained in the next verse. But the lesson for us to be learned from this is that in order to, even if one is conversant with the scriptural injunctions, it is not easy to apply the injunctions in different circumstances. It's not so simple. Always. In some cases, it's very simple. But in some situations or circumstances, it's not so simple. So therefore, Shastra says, in order to learn the scriptures, and more importantly, in order to learn how to apply the scriptural directions or injunctions in one's own personal life, one has to approach a bona fide spiritual master. One has to approach a bona fide spiritual master. The beginning of the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna first says, I am not going to fight in this battle. How can I kill my own kinsmen? How can I kill Bhishma and Drona, my respectable superiors? For the sake of a kingdom, I am going to kill them? Never. But at the same time, Arjuna understands this is a dharma yuddha, and it's a duty of a Kshatriya like Arjuna to fight in this dharma yuddha. So, considering these two aspects, dharma yuddha, Arjuna should fight, it is his duty to fight, and somebody like Bhishma and Drona, who are respectable superiors, should not be killed. So Arjuna is confused about his duty, and Arjuna, what does he say? Now I am confused about my duty, and therefore I surrender to you, my dear Lord Krishna. Kindly instruct me what is to be done in these circumstances. And this is exactly what is taught in the Bhagavad Gita. We have to actually seek solution to our perplexities by approaching a bona fide spiritual master. A bona fide spiritual master is situated completely in Krishna consciousness, and he is able to direct everyone perfectly in such a way that they are able to do their duty at the same time, not commit any sin, and also make advancement for ultimate liberation in Krishna consciousness. So this is the special position of a bona fide spiritual master. Therefore, one has to actually approach a bona fide spiritual master and learn from him and seek his guidance in all such situations. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.